Mum could sense that she was on the decline, and about 2 years ago she got my sister and I and sat us down and said, and she had a conversation with us and said to us, if I get that bad, you girls know what to do, right? You girls will need to be able to sort out my finances, and if I need to be going into a nursing home, you need to put me into a nursing home. Irrespective of whether or not I disagree with you, you know me and you know what I'm like, you override me. And I'm going to make you power of attorney, both of you, and I'm also going to make you, I think it's guardianship or something, I can't remember what the name of it is.
They have often a lot of fears and a lot of worries. So I think it's really important to talk about changes that may come. Changes around their own independence, changes around their own decision making, and to preempt that so that they're still in a position where they feel they've got some control over what's going to happen.
Well, Mum was still managing all of those things, although, you know, there was some slippage on a daily basis around, you know, her not being able to keep across bills when they were due, and I really did need to step in, you know, as the symptoms advanced to help out with bill paying and expenses and just making sure that things were on track. And Alzheimer's ACT were also involved at that stage, and she had people helping her with financial planning, because it gave it that step removed from, you know, me, which was quite challenging for her to hand over some of those decisions to her daughter, and she felt that she wanted to maintain that independence. So it was important for her to have someone independent, which she did, working with her to plan how things could occur and to help her just with daily tasks as the condition progressed.
Life, since we moved to the over 50s resort here for 12 years now, it's like being permanently on holiday. I didn't think, when we first came to Hervey Bay, you know, in the caravan, I said to Roy, let's have a look at some of these places. I'm not going into an old people's home, he'd say. I like my home where I've got a workshop and I've got a huge yard and I've got a 2-storey home. Anyway, we came and had a look at this one, and it's just wonderful. I wouldn't live anywhere else. If we lived in suburbia where you've got to do everything for yourself, we just couldn't have done that. Well, I would have had to have, I don't know what. We'd have either had to sell up and don't want to live with the girls. I mean, we adore them, they're so good to us. We couldn't wish for 5 better daughters.
Having access to case management of an independent case manager that understood the needs of someone with dementia and had that specialist knowledge was really critical to keeping my mother at home for as long as possible. My mum was very much in denial. She did not want to even think about the possibility of having dementia. You know, she'd been through that experience with her husband, and I guess, you know, she had to work through both, you know, supporting him at home as his condition worsened, right through to residential care, and, you know, it was very heartbreaking. She was really watching what was going to happen to her. We did get to the point where she helped me work with her to develop an advanced care plan, and she made me a power of attorney, both medical and legal, and that is incredibly useful. And she did her will and all of those things. And the reason she did that is because with my stepfather, he would never get to a point where he would sign over power of attorney or do a will or make any arrangements at all. And because of that, she witnessed how difficult that was. We had to go through the whole guardianship legal process to try and ensure that we could make decisions on his behalf when he could no longer do that.
I had carers coming in to shower him every day, and They were very, very good, and they did that right up until he went into care.
Home help was critical because for my mum, just having someone there that she could trust and talk to, because she wouldn't have always talked to family. She wouldn't have wanted us to know that she was struggling with some things like how to work the oven or the heater or, those sorts of things. Keeping a calendar of diary appointments and making sure she got to the doctor on time, making sure someone helped her with medications.
Mum's been seeing a doctor for many, many years, and to me it was just one pill after another pill after another pill, and I then suggested to my sisters that we get her to see a geriatrician. And a lot of elderly people and a lot of families don't even know what a geriatrician is. I must admit, I didn't even know what a geriatrician was either. So we did go and see this geriatrician, and he was fantastic, and he went through all of her medical records and went through all of her tablets of what she was taking, and he did cut out quite a few of her medications.
Pain management's very difficult, and medication that goes with that is difficult when you are trying to also manage dementia, because often the medication will impact on the symptoms of dementia. So, for my mum, she had very chronic arthritis, for instance, and it was very difficult for her to know, especially as the condition progressed, when she'd taken medication. So I think, the levels of paracetamol escalated to the point where she was probably taking too much, and I think that in turn would make her feel quite ill. The way we managed that was really through the home care services, because they were able to set up a Webster pack for her so that her medications were regular, and eventually as the symptoms of the dementia increased and the care was more regular, she had someone coming in morning and night, and they were able to administer the medication for her. If she hadn't had that, she would have ended up in hospital.